In a cobalt blue house in Coyoacan, Mexico, a girl grew up who was going to change the world, though not in the way she planned. Frida Kahlo was born in 1907, the daughter of a German photographer and a Mexican mother. She was fierce and funny and brilliant. One of the first girls admitted to the National Preparatory School, where she planned to study medicine. She loved her country deeply, its colors, its traditions, its ancient culture. She wore flowers in her hair. She laughed loudly. She was, by every account, completely and gloriously alive. On the 18th of September, 1925, everything changed. Frida was 18 years old, riding a bus home from school, when a streetcar crashed into it. The impact was catastrophic. A metal handrail pierced her body. Her spine was broken in 3 places. Her pelvis shattered. Her right leg broken in 11 places. She was impaled. She was told, like a butterfly on a pin. She survived. 35 surgeries over her lifetime could not fully repair what that day had broken. She would live in pain for the rest of her life. And from that pain, she made art. While Frida lay immobile in her plaster cast, her mother had a special easel built that attached to her bed. A mirror was mounted above her so she could see herself. And Frida began to paint. She painted the only subject she could see, herself. She said, "I paint self-portraits because I am often alone, because I am the person I know best." She painted her pain as flowers and blood and birds and broken columns. She painted her Mexican identity, the flowers, the traditional dress, the animals she loved. She painted what the doctors could not fix and what no one else could see. She painted her own reality, and it was magnificent. Frida Kahlo painted 55 self-portraits in her lifetime. In each one, she looked at herself without flinching, the unibrow, the slight mustache, the dark eyes that had seen too much. She did not paint herself as beautiful or ugly. She painted herself as real, as herself. She said, "I never painted dreams. I painted my own reality." Each painting was a declaration. I am here. I am in pain. I'm also magnificent. I exist. You cannot erase me with a bus accident or a plaster cast or a surgeon's knife. Frida Kahlo's paintings speak a language that needs no translation. The broken column shows her spine as a crumbling ancient pillar, her body held together only by a medical corset, tears running down her face, but her eyes steady, looking directly at you. The 2 Fridas shows her heart exposed, split in 2, one bleeding and one whole. These are not easy paintings. They do not ask you to look away from pain. They ask you to look at it directly and to see that inside the pain, there is still a person, still a self, still alive. Frida loved Mexico with every brushstroke. She wore traditional Tijuana dress every day, the wide skirts, the embroidered blouses, the flowers in her hair. She filled her paintings with Mexican folk art, pre-Columbian artifacts, tropical animals. She kept monkeys and parrots and a deer in the blue house garden. She understood something essential, that identity is not something given to you. It is something you claim, you wear, you paint, you insist upon, even lying in a hospital bed, especially then. Frida Kahlo once said she had suffered 2 serious accidents in her life. The first was the bus. The second was Diego Rivera. Diego was a famous muralist. Large, loud, unfaithful, brilliant. They married in 1929. They divorced. They remarried. They lived in separate but adjoining houses with a bridge between them. He was unfaithful again and again, including once with her own sister. They hurt each other in ways that showed up in every painting she made for the rest of her life. People called them the elephant and the dove, and yet they could not leave each other. Some loves are like that. They break you and hold you together at the same time. The love between Frida and Diego was not a love story with a happy ending. It was something rarer and harder, a love that made her more herself, not less. When Diego hurt her, she painted. When he left her, she painted. When he came back, she painted. The pain of loving someone who cannot be faithful, who cannot be tamed. She did not run from it. She looked at it directly, the way she looked at everything, and she painted it true. In 1953, Frida Kahlo had her first solo exhibition in Mexico. By then she was very ill. Her right leg had been amputated below the knee, and she could not stand for long. She was told she should not attend. She came anyway. She arrived by ambulance. Her ornate bed was placed in the center of the gallery, so she could greet her guests lying down. People came in their hundreds to see her. She told stories, she laughed, she drank, she sang. She was carried into the gallery on a stretcher, and she was the most alive person in the room. That night became one of the legendary moments in the history of art. Frida Kahlo died on July 13, 1954. She was 47 years old. Her final diary entry read, "I joyfully await the exit." Her final painting showed a watermelon cut open, red and full of life, with the words, "Viva la vida," long live life. And somewhere in her notebooks, she had written words that became her epitaph. "Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly?" She had been broken by a bus, broken by love, broken by a surgeon's knife 35 times. And still, she flew. Today, Frida Kahlo is one of the most recognized artists in the world. Her face appears on murals in 100 cities, on museum walls in every country. But what she left behind is not her image. It is the question she answered with her life. How do you turn the worst thing that ever happened to you into something beautiful? You look at it directly. You do not look away. You paint it exactly as it is. The pain, the broken spine, the love that broke you, the Mexico that made you. You paint it true. And then somehow it becomes art. And art, unlike pain, does not end.